Hello and welcome to the Good Imaginations podcast. Tonight, we will journey with an ice salamander to an icy cave where you can unwind, reorient yourself, and if you would like, fall fast asleep. Before we begin our adventure, make sure you're settled. If you are seated, get comfortable. Listen to your spine and relax your shoulders. If you are lying down, get your covers and pillow where you want them. Create your nest. Very good. Now, take 3 deep breaths with me in preparation for the journey ahead. Let go of your day and travel to a vacation for your mind. Imagine with me. See, smell, and be present. Breathe with me now. In through your nose, out through your mouth. Slow and even. 1, 2, 3. Very good. Now, shut your eyes, and let's drift off to the site of tonight's adventure. You are grumpy and restless, seeking an escape. You wish to be anywhere but where you are, which is your office building. It has no windows. You work in a basement of beige, trapped in the smell of old carpet, stale sandwiches, and the smell of a cubicle that was bought in the 1990s. You are bored. Your work feels meaningless today, and the walls feel heavy, and the lack of color around you is making your eyes go cross-eyed. You wonder what to do next, to make your dismal, boring day a bit better. Maybe get some coffee? No, the coffee tastes like dead fish. Maybe see if there are donuts left. But you know there are no donuts left. Stupid donuts. You stretch your legs, and that's when you notice a blue salamander skitter across the carpet. No, that can't be right. Is this a prank? Some tiny, wind-up little creature. You stand up, annoyed. And that's when you realize that everyone else in your entire office building is frozen. Not frozen in blocks of ice, that is. They are not moving. Time seems to have paused. For everyone except you and this tiny blue salamander. It scuttles back into view. It whisks its pink tongue at you. That tongue is definitely not made of plastic. Besides, the eyes are too bright. You squat down, fascinated, excitement taking your heart over for the first time in days. This salamander is impossible. Strange. Has it escaped from the zoo? Maybe someone on one of the floors above had it in a tank, and it escaped. You should probably try to trap it in a plastic cup or something. Take it to its owner. The salamander watches you, and you jog to the water cooler, grab a cup, and return. You squat down again, wondering how you will be fast enough to trap it, and then you pause. You don't want to trap this salamander. It doesn't want to live in a cage, and neither do you. It looks at you, and you are suddenly overcome with a desire to run. Adults don't run. Adults jog, meticulous, dedicated, suffering. They run in fear, occasionally, maybe. But they don't run. You wonder suddenly why that is. They don't take off suddenly, desperate, wild, pumping their legs for the sheer pleasure of it, just because they can. You haven't run like that, running for freedom's sake. since you were a kid. You want to run like that now. The salamander flicks its tongue and looks at you, as if it knows. It knows you want to run. Then it scuttles off to the left. You're disappointed. It's going to run off into a vent, and you'll be left out here, unable to follow. Then, the blue, shimmering creature with eyes like black gems stops and looks at you. Aren't you coming? It seems to say. Why, yes, you are. You most certainly are. You feel imaginative, peculiar, as you follow the amphibian across the small basement office. It's been a while since you've let yourself be weird, and it feels like collapsing with relief at the end of a very long day. The salamander runs under the crack of the paper closet, and for a moment you are disappointed. What are you going to do? Step in there and sit on reams of paper in the dark? Suddenly, you notice blue smoke coming from under the crack of the door. That can't be good. Then again, maybe it's wonderful. You whisk open the door, and you are not staring into the closet. You are staring into a beautiful underwater cave with stalactites like glass. A blue mist trails through the air, like spirals of foggy art. You shut the closet door behind you. You are going to experience this. As soon as you shut the door, you realize it stands behind you, just a door frame, standing all alone in the cave. You take a few steps into the wonderland you've discovered. The salamander, perched on a rock, opens its little mouth and grins at you. The air smells strange, like mint and underground rivers. You smell the damp, metallic, crisp scent of a cave, and also something lighter, airier. Snow. You smell snow. You hadn't realized until this moment that snow and ice have a smell, but they do. Something pure, and a little bit like the smell of rain. That smell is all around you. The damp, chilled air of the cave is filled with the fragrance of ice and stone. You take a step forward, and your breath clouds in the chill. There's something deeply refreshing about this air. Something untouched. You wonder if the air you breathe at home is so polluted that you've stopped noticing. This air is new. You feel like every breath is healing your lungs. You take 3 deep breaths of the beautiful, misty purity. 1. 2. 3. The cave is filled with musical silence. You've never been so far away from any sound. You've heard that about caves, that they are mesmerizingly silent. This one, however, rustles and drips with quiet peace. An underground pool ripples, and quiet draughts of wind make music not unlike chimes as they blow over the icicles. You shut your eyes and just listen to the silence. A part of your heart believes that you are still in your office, that the rush and rustle and stress of that place is still with you. But you make a conscious effort to let it go. You have stepped somewhere new, and for this moment, nothing exists, except for silence, this cave, you, and your own breath. You look over at the salamander, but it is gone. You wonder if it lives here, in this cave. It seems like it's the spirit of the cave, a guardian, a messenger, You look up at the cave ceiling, at the way the sunlight shimmers in the ice. The blue tones, the lush depth of the frozen water. You feel so refreshed, so transported. You wonder if you will ever return to the mundane after this purity and peace. If you do, you know that you will do things differently. No day should be spent without an experience that takes your breath away. You take another few deep breaths. You will stay in this cave for hours. You will take a quiet walk, filling your lungs. And if you do leave, you will return. You have found a sanctuary, and you are grateful for this chance to make peace with eternity.